Hello, 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 and welcome to Walk, Talk, Health. So, as the name suggests, you and I are going to take an amazing walk together today and talk health. Each of these walk and talks can significantly improve your health and well-being, but combining those subjects we discuss over a series of these walk and talks can have a huge effect on your health, well-being, longevity, and help you live longer, healthier. So, where are we today and what will we be discussing on our walk and talk? So we're in the beautiful Tiburon. We're going to get some views of the Bay Bridge and Golden Gate Bridge as we walk. So I hope you can enjoy the walk. In terms of discussion, I released a video recently on the microbiome. That's the trillions of microbes that we have living on us and in us, mainly in our intestines, and how they're vital for health and longevity. So today I want to expand on that and talk about how we make sure we have the right microbes in us and how we can feed them and take care of them to ensure they take care of us. Literally, we are what we eat, and that will become clear as we talk a little bit later on. I'll also include a link to the microbiome video at the end of this, so you can click on it and find out more. You'll understand why we want to keep our microbiome healthy by feeding it and looking after it. So there are approximately 2,000 species of microbes. All of them play a slightly different role within our body, and we have roughly 80 to 100 trillion total. That's double the number of human cells in the body. We get our initial microbiome from our mother. It's passed through the placenta when we're in the womb, and then we receive further top-ups to those good supportive bacteria whilst we're breastfeeding. So we obviously rely on our mothers being healthy initially to pass on a good balance of the microbiome to us. But then what we eat, the people we come in contact with, all of those things affect the health and strength of our microbiome going forward. Antibiotics, of course, is a big issue. I very much doubt many, if any of you watching this today have not had at least one course of antibiotics in your life. And antibiotics, as the name suggests, are designed to kill all bacteria, both good and bad, with the hope being that it kills the bad bacteria that's making us sick. Unfortunately, it kills both, and so we can end up with our intestines, which are 20 feet long, roughly 6 meters, devoid of most bacteria. And then the question is, what takes hold after that? Is it the good bacteria, the beneficial bacteria, or is it the harmful bacteria? Which one wins out and starts to colonize our intestines again? So in the rare circumstance that somehow you've survived antibiotics, you've survived eating and consuming bad bacteria over the years, we still need to enhance and maintain the balance between the good and the bad bacteria. That gets broken down into three main areas. So we have probiotics, which is the good bacteria themselves. How do we get those into our body? We have prebiotics, which is how do we feed them to maintain their health? And postbiotics, what do those bacteria do in return for us in terms of our health and longevity? Just stop for a minute to give you an idea of the inlet, the bay that makes up Tiburon. And I don't think in the distance yet you can see the Golden Gate Bridge, but we'll see that when we get a bit closer to it. I think we need to start with the probiotics. How do we get the good, healthy bacteria into us to ensure that they outnumber the harmful bacteria? So the first obvious way would be to take a supplement. You can find these in most supermarkets, and the most important thing when you're looking at those is the number of bacteria it contains, as well as what's actually in them. Our stomach acid is pretty acidic. On a scale to 1 to 14, with 7 being neutral, our stomach acid is roughly 1.5 to 3. So most of the probiotics you take in capsule form will end up being killed by the stomach acid. But over time, constantly taking the probiotics on a daily basis, whatever percentage does make it through to our intestine will build up and support the good bacteria that's already there. The next approach is the more natural approach, and that's doing things like eating fermented foods. So yogurt is a good example, but if you can, try and buy the live cultured yogurt. It'll say in the supermarkets it has live culture in it, or make your own. We, in fact, in my household, we actually make our own yogurt, with the main bacteria being L. reuteri. L. reuteri is a very stomach acid resistant bacteria, and just as important, it's one of these bacteria that not only has big health benefits to us, but it supports the microbiome, encourages good bacteria to grow and to thrive, and actually helps in the process of killing off the harmful bacteria. The other source, natural source of good bacteria is fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi. The reason they taste slightly sour and slightly fizzy is the actual good bacteria that's starting to consume those food groups, and in the process they're multiplying and releasing some pretty helpful chemicals into those foods. Okay, now let's assume then we've managed to fortify our intestines with good healthy bacteria. Now we need to consider moving from the probiotic stage into the prebiotic stage. We need to think about not just feeding ourselves, but feeding that microbiome. Typically, the microbiome and the bacteria we're looking to enhance, they like fibre. So things like apples have high in fibre. We're looking at things like vegetables and salads are high in fibre. And this is something the body isn't able to break down itself. So in the process of the bacteria consuming these foods and breaking them down for us, that's when we move on to our postbiotics and the benefits, which we'll come to later. The beneficial bacteria also things like resistant starches, so things like bananas are high in resistant starches. And again, of course, you can take fibre as a supplement, soluble fibre, for example, which you can dissolve into your coffee or into water, and you won't even know you're taking it, but you'll be helping your good bacteria immensely. This is a pretty nice spot to sit and take in the view. The nice thing about this trail is there's plenty of benches and places to sit and take a rest or just enjoy nature. By contrast, we want to avoid sugary type foods. So that's things like pasta, bread, rice, high in carbohydrates. Our body breaks those down and turns them into glucose, which gets into the blood, thickens the blood, increases the chance of clots. So our body then produces insulin to remove that glucose, which is what you've probably heard the term glucose spikes, insulin spikes, and it's doing it for a reason, but insulin itself is inflammatory, and we know that most illnesses are caused through inflammation. But the effect on the microbiome is equally as bad. The harmful bacteria love these food sources, and in fact things like SIBO, small intestinal bowel overgrowth, is because these foods, and also things like refined sugars, chocolate, candy, alcohol, they feed the harmful bacteria, And if they multiply and overwhelm the good bacteria, then you get things like, as I say, SIBO, you get things like colitis, you get things like Crohn's disease, and they're all pretty painful, very debilitating and painful stomach and digestive tract illnesses. Just to mention, one of my favourite probiotic to take is Akkermansia. Akkermansia actually resides or takes up residence in the mucus layer inside of our intestines. That mucus layer is there to protect the one cell thick intestines to stop things that shouldn't get across into the blood from doing so. Akkermansia also helps with the production of nitric oxide, another video that I did recently that I would encourage you to watch. And it also kills on contact certain other bad bacteria and viruses. So definitely look into Akkermansia. Yeah, speed limit 15 miles per hour. I better slow down, I'm clearly walking way too fast. Okay, so we've bolstered the healthy bacteria in our gut. We are feeding them the correct kind of foods to ensure that they continue to be healthy and help us in the process. Now we need to discuss the postbiotics. What do they do for us as a result of ensuring that we have the right balance and we take care of them? Well, the answer is far too much to cover on this video. However, let's talk about it briefly. So they create, for example, short chain fatty acids, which I'd encourage you to look up. One of the benefits of the short chain fatty acids is that the body uses it to help produce that mucus layer that I mentioned that protects the inner lining of our intestines. They remove from our food all the vitamins we need to help us fight infections and disease. They reduce chemicals that help reduce inflammation, and we know that inflammation is responsible for all the major diseases such as heart disease, kidney disease, or the inflammatory brain diseases such as Alzheimer's and dementia. So we're just starting to get our first glimpse of the Golden Gate Bridge. I wonder if you can see the two towers sticking up above that hill in the distance. We'll get a better look at it a little bit later on. I can't actually overemphasize how our body would not be able to attain any of these vitamins or beneficial compounds without the help of the bacteria in our stomach, the microbiome. So therefore, feeding them once we've got to the right mix of microbiome is essential. Okay, I'm going to ask a huge favour now. This channel is in no way monetized. The sole purpose is to reach as many people as I can to help them on their health journey and help them live longer, healthier. So by hitting the like, subscribe, making comments, and probably the most important, sharing this video to reach others, you can really help me reach my goal to help those people. So I thank you in advance for doing just that. Thank you. This is where you come to catch the Angel Island ferry, which is definitely another place for us to do a walk and talk. Very interesting history on Angel Island, and the only way to get to it is on one of those. After we've walked approximately a 6 mile there and back from where we parked, you get down to this amazing view. You can see San Francisco there in the distance, the skyline. It's pretty cool. So let's recap. There's probiotics, there's prebiotics, and there's postbiotics. The probiotics is getting those good bacteria and a good mix of those bacteria into our digestive system. We can do that by taking a supplement that contains live culture. We can eat fermented foods such as sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, and hopefully get a very good balance of those healthy, beneficial bacteria and outweigh those bad bacteria. Once they're there, we need to feed them as well as feed ourselves. To do that, we can look at things that are high in fibre, so vegetables, salads, fruits such as apples, because our body can't break down fibre, but our bacteria, good bacteria, love fibre. In the process of eating that fibre, we now move on to postbiotics, and that is the nutrients they pull from that food, the vitamins, all the various compounds that help our body both heal, grow new vessels, and fight inflammation. So basically, we need to look after all three of those steps if we want to live longer, healthier. If you join me next time, we're going to be talking about omega-3, which we get from either a supplement or from eating fatty fish. And I think you'll be amazed again how crucial that is to general health and brain health in particular. So look forward to seeing you next time. If you want to know more about the microbiome and just how vital it is to get that right and how it affects every health process within our body, please watch a video that I did previously here.